Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to each and everyone, especially those at the other side of the world. There is no time and space between us. There is only this present moment, and we are one. We are now on diary entry number 1051. I have felt great sufferings in my body, but I feel the Lord is upholding me, for otherwise I would not be able to bear it. Nakadama ako ng matinding pagdurusa sa aking katawan, ngunit pakiramdam ko ay inaalalayan ako ng Panginoon. Dahil kung hindi ko kakayanin. This is again all about sufferings. Ano pa ba ang hindi natin natatalakay sa sufferings? Napakarami pa po. There is such thing as school of suffering. And we will take the meaning of suffering from St. Paul. Napakaraming sinulat ni St. Paul kaugnay sa suffering. Si St. Paul, we were not able to discuss about him noong 23, yung feast of his conversion, no? But actually, St. Paul, before he was converted, he was a persecutor, no? Siya yung nagpa-persecute ng mga Christians. Hindi siya kasama sa original disciples. Kaya nga apostle lang siya because he was not able to be one of the students, no, nung panahon ni Jesus. Wala na si Jesus nung sumulpot siya. When he was on his way to Damascus, wala. Si Jesus nagpakita lamang sa kanya, pero na siya. Jesus was already ascended, has already ascended. So who is St. Paul? As a persecutor, ang dami niyang mga Kristiyano na pinahirapan. Talagang hindi niya tinatantanan. But after his conversion, when that light struck him, nabulag siya ng ilang araw, di po ba? So powerful. That light was very powerful that he was converted. No, yung nabulag yung kaniyang paningin, nawala yung paningin niya, pero pagkatapos nun, nung bumalik yung kanyang paningin, ang nakikita niya ay ang katotohanan na, the truth. So everything that had passed had gone. No, yung mga paniniwala niya, yun yung nagpabulag sa kanya. Nawala yun sapagkat tinamaan siya ng liwanag. Pero kahit tinamaan siya ng liwanag dahil sa napakarami rin niyang utang na dugo, no? At pagpapakasakit sa maraming Kristiyano, maraming tao, mapapansin niyo ang buhay niya ay punong-puno rin ng sufferings. One, maybe it's because of the sufferings that he had caused to other people. Kasi sabi nga natin, bagamat tayo napapatawad sa ating mga kasalanan, we still have to pay for it. So if you have caused suffering to others, at some point in your life, you will also experience sufferings. Because that would pay your debts, no? Babayaran nito yung utang mo, yung ginawa mong utang na pananakit sa ibang tao. It has to come back to you. Kailangan bumalik yun sa'yo, otherwise hindi magkakaroon ng balance. Otherwise, you will not resurrect just how Jesus resurrected after the sufferings. Only that, magkaiba. Si Jesus nagpakahirap para sa atin and He resurrected na pagtagumpayan niya. Saint Paul, maraming kasalanan, maraming pagpapahirap na ginawa sa ibang tao. And he asked for God's forgiveness after his conversion, but he had to pay for it. So part of his sufferings is about the payment, no? Pagbabayad sa utang na pagpapahirap niya sa mga maraming tao. Now, Saint Paul had, in the course of time, no? Natutunan na rin niyang ma-appreciate ang suffering. Parang kay Faustina, no? Nag-iba ang tingin niya sa suffering. Kasi pwedeng isipin niya, no? Lord, nagbagong buhay na nga ako bakit kailangan ko pang dumaan sa mga suffering na to? Imagine, no? Siya po ay nakulong. Para makulong ka, napakahirap na rin, no? Kaya nga siya maraming sulat na nagawa sa mga kung kani-kanino. Letter of Saint Paul to the Galatians, Corinthians, no? So, ganun. He was able to appreciate the value of suffering. Unang-una, katulad ni Faustina, ang tingin niya sa suffering ay, when you suffer, you are taking part in the suffering of Jesus and therefore, kabilang ka sa salvation work. Yun ay pinaniniwalaan din ni San Pablo. So, napakaraming lines, Bible verses that talks about suffering na si Paul mismo, no? Si Saint Paul mismo nagsabi. One of these is this one. And to keep me from being too elated by the abundance of revelations. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Ang daming na-reveal kay Saint Paul nung tinamaan siya ng liwanag. Kasi nga, yung liwanag na yon, nagkaroon siya ng, he was partially blind, pero tinanggal ng liwanag na yon ng lahat ng kanyang kabulagan. Kasi nga, iba yung nakikita niya, distorted na yung truth na nakikita niya. So, nung napawi ng liwanag, yung distortion sa sarili niya, no, sa pag-iisip niya, nagkaroon siya ng abundance of revelation. So, imagine, Saint Paul, halos sa kanya yung lahat, no? Yung, ang laki ng bahagi ng sinulat niya sa New Testament. So, all those things are revelations to him. At sino nag-reveal sa kanya ng mga bagay na yun? Si Jesus. He would not be able to write all those wisdom kung hindi dahil kay Jesus at kinikilala ni San Pablo yan. The role of Jesus in all those revelations. Next, a thorn was given me in the flesh. Yung thorn na yon, this symbolizes suffering. No, bagamat may abundance of revelation, mayroon ding mga tinik na naramdaman ng kanyang body, physical body, yung flesh, no? Katulad kay Faustina, ang sufferings ni Faustina hindi lang mental, but she also experienced physical suffering. And then, okay, abundance of revelation, a thorn in the flesh, a messenger of Satan to harass me, to keep me from being too elated. So, tatlo. A messenger of Satan. Etong mga to, yung mga paghihirap na nararanasan niya. Sino may kasalanan? Si Satan. Pero, sabi niya, no? A messenger of Satan to harass me, to keep me from being too elated. So, ibig sabihin, inappreciate din ni Saint Paul yung mga satanic attacks, yung mga atake sa kanya ng demonyo. He also appreciated it. Hindi katulad ng marami na laging sisisihin na lang ang diablo. Sasabihin ganito, no, I was being attacked. Pero hindi nila iniisip bakit sila na-atake. Kasi mayroon sa tayo, we experience attacks, no? Sapagkat may opening na nabuksan, no? Nakapasok siya. At yung opening na nabubuksan na yun ay dahil sa ating kasalanan. So, do not blame Satan for that. You have to meditate on yourself paano nakakapasok si Satan sa buhay mo. So, sa bahagi ni San Pablo, though it was meant to harass him, but it is also to keep him from being too elated. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng elated? Na yung masyado kang overwhelmed by so many revelations. Mapapansin nyo yung marami na mga nasa spiritual path. Ano ang dahilan ng kanilang pagbagsak? Most of them, or maybe all of them, ang dahilan ng pagbagsak ay pride. Sumobra ang yabang. Ang gagaling, di ba? Dami nilang alam. Pero, nasan sila ngayon? Alam ko, marami kayong kilalang ganyan, no? Dati. Very visible in the devotion, no? Pero bakit nawawala? No? Ang gagaling nila, ba't sila nawawala? Because they were, nakapasok yung ano sa kanila, kayabangan. Nagkaroon ng opening ngayon ang demonyo para pasukin sila. And that caused them their fall, yung pagbagsak. Katulad din ni Lucifer. Sumobra yabang. ang Diyos na yung gusto niyang kalabanin. So, kaya bumagsak din siya. So, 3 times I besought the Lord about this. 3 beses nang hiningi sa Panginoon. Hinanap niya sa Panginoon that it should leave me. But He said to me, ano ang sabi ng Panginoon sa kanya? My grace is sufficient for you. For my power is made perfect in weakness. So, sapat-sapat ang grasya ko sa iyo, Pablo. Sapagkat ang aking kapangyarihan ay nagiging perpekto, nagiging ganap sa weaknesses. So, immediately, Paul recognized that for the sake of Christ then, I am content with weaknesses, insults, hardships, persecutions, and calamities. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Kasi nga, ang sabi ni Jesus, balikan natin, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Kapag tayo kasi nga ay masyado ng antaas-taas, no? Dami na nating alam, nagiging mayabang tayo. At yung kayabangan na yung kailangan mong kontrolin, kailangan mong alisin, para maalis din sa Satanas sa buhay mo. So those kayabangan, weaknesses that you experience, treat them as something good. Weakness. Yung mga weaknesses mo, tingnan mo kasi kapag hindi ka na magaling, no? Hindi ka na sobrang galing, parang unpopular ka na. Kapag hindi ka na ganun, nagiging mapagpakumbaba ka. Di ba? Kasi ang baba mo na, bigla kang bumagsak. That is why, kapag naramdaman mong bumagsak ka, you have to go back to God, to Christ. Lord, make me strong. Diyan ka palalakasin ng Panginoon with your weakness. No? Kasi babalik ka. So, pasalamatan mo ang demonyo na kinanti ka, pinasok ka, para maging mayabang ka. Bumagsak ka, naging mahina ka na ngayon, wala ka ng power, nagkaroon ka naman pa-insulto, hardship, persecution, no? Dumaan ka sa napakaraming kamalasan sa buhay, biglang ang negosyo mo hindi na gumanda, no? Biglang nagkagulo yung mga organisasyon, bigla kang nawala, no? Bigla kang pinatalsik. The best way for you to go back and to be stronger is to go back to Christ. Because Christ will strengthen us. Dahil ang ating weakness, again, my power, this is my power, the Lord's power, is made perfect in weakness. So, nagiging kapangyarihan na natin yan. Yung ating kahinaan ay nagiging positive. Nagiging malakas tayo sapagkat papalakasin tayo ni Kristo. So, can reflect on what you have been. If you think you're really too good, if you are in your profession, galing-galing mo na, no? Kinikilala ka sa profession mo, kinikilala ka sa kung saan field ka nandun. Popular ka na, no? Think about this. Huwag magyabang. Kasi when you become boastful or full of pride, then the devil will come into you. Now, we have to think of this positively kasi kapag naging negative naman, lalo kang babagsak. Think positively. Thank Satan for attacking you on your kayabangan, ano? At nagdulot ito ng pagbagsak mo. Go back to God. Go back to Jesus and Jesus will strengthen you. For when we are weak, then we are strong.